Hello, I'm back out in the camper van again. And before you ask, no, it's not been done yet, the inside. And if you're new to this channel, I'm having the inside completely redone by a company called All Things Timber. But AD, who does all the work there, has been really busy, and I've also been really busy because we've moved up to the North York Moors and we're moved into an old cottage that needs a bit of work, so we've been using the van as a builder's van, and it's given AD an opportunity to finish off some other projects before he starts on this one. But the van's going to go in straight after Christmas, I think, straight after New Year. Probably the 2nd of January it's probably going to go in there, and it'll be in full time, and about 5 to 6 weeks after that we'll get it back. We'll be out and about, and hopefully things will have calmed down a bit on the lockdown. So we've not been in a rush. It's enabled AD to have a bit of time off because he's been really busy, and to finish off some other projects. But we're really looking forward to getting it done. So I'm out in the van today because as well as using it as a builder's van, we still use it as a day van, and out with the mountain bikes and things. So from where we live, we've got loads of trails and farm tracks and bridleways that we can use on our mountain bike. But we also like to get a bit further afield, even just around the moors during lockdown, and start off from different points on our e-bikes. And this video is about charging e-bikes while you're wild camping. So I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos about my camper van, but I have 500 and I think it's 40 or 60 watts of batteries in the back of my van. I don't use an inverter because I see an inverter as wasting power basically, because you take 12 volts, it goes through a load of coils, and it comes out the other end to produce 240 volts through a transformer, usually into 36 volts to charge your e-bike or something, or whichever device you're using through 230 or 240 mains. So we don't have an inverter where everything in the van runs off 12 volts, and the reason we have so many batteries and so much battery power is that we can live off grid in this van for at least 3 or 4 days and have everything on, the heater and everything else on. So there's always a compromise, isn't there? And the compromise with that is, with e-bikes, they're great. We've got 625 watt-hour batteries in our e-bikes. I'll show you them in a bit. But when you're away while camping, not so much when we're around here because we can pop up, but if you're up in Scotland for 2 or 3 weeks, you use your bikes for a couple of days, you've got no power left. If you've got no power left, that means you have to go on a campsite to charge it up, or you have to get an inverter and it drains your main leisure batteries down. So this is how we do it. We're going to use a Poweroak solar generator. I just want to go through the benefits of doing that. And this is a new one as well. This is an AC100 that Poweroak have sent to me free of charge to test and do a video about. But I think this model is probably the best one for e-bikes. So if you're not to do with camper vans and you're just interested in e-bikes, and you go out in your car or something like that, and you're away for a weekend, or you want to make sure that you've got the opportunity to charge your bike while you're away, this could be an option for you. Now, another option as part of e-bikes is that you can actually buy another battery for your bike. But a battery for your bike, for our bikes, we've looked into it, is about £600. And me and Joe both have the same battery in ours, so we're at 1,200 quid. And this system we've got here is about the same price as buying 2 batteries, but it's a lot more versatile. The advantage of us both having the same batteries is if I want to do a long trip on my e-bike, and I mean a long trip and use lots of power, I can take the battery out of Joe's bike and put it in mine to get back again. So we do have that flexibility between the 2 bikes, but it's still the question mark about actually how do you charge your bikes or use anything on mains power while you're away without having an inverter or causing you problems with your batteries in your van. So there's my e-bike. It's a Powerfly 7 hardtail, and this is where the battery is. There's a socket on the other side that you can plug the battery charger in, or you can actually take the battery out and take it inside to charge it, or swap the batteries over. And this is Joe's new bike. This is a Powerfly 7 as well, but this is the one that's obviously a ladies bike with the low crossbar. So with these two on the back of the camper van, when we go remote camping, we can do significant miles. We'll probably be able to get, depending on which power source you use on these bikes, we'll probably be able to get between, I don't know, 60-70 miles using various power sources. But we may do that in a day or 2 days, so having a way to charge these up when we're out and about in the camper van is a key challenge really, because we don't want to be on a campsite, we want to be in the middle of nowhere, and particularly places like Scotland or when we start to go across to Europe. This is the portable power station or solar generator by Poweroak, and it's the AC100. It's not too heavy, this one. It's only 15.6 kilograms and it's 1,000 watt hours, so you'll get 1,000 watt in an hour, or you can deduct that over a period of time if you're using less wattage, which is ample for charging both the mountain bikes. And with it, it's a separate purchase, but this portable solar panel, 120 watt solar panel, which folds up into this little carrying case here. It's got the leads and everything in there. This is absolutely brilliant to link into the power generator to enable that to be recharged on a sunny day. Things you get with this is a mains power charger, and so obviously you can charge this up at home or on a campsite from mains power, which will mean your generator's fully charged before you set off. But here's a key piece of kit. This cigarette charger, 12 volt charger, fits into the van and fits into the Poweroak generator and charges it while you're driving. So if you haven't got solar panels that you can leave out, or it's a cloudy day, you can charge this as you're driving along from your car alternator or your van alternator as a separate charging unit, which is perfect. Some of the bigger ones of the Poweroak don't come with these charging units. This is the biggest one I think they do that have the 12 volt cigarette socket charging unit, which is excellent. And these are the cables that fit to the Poweroak, the generator, and to the portable solar panels. It's just a case of plugging those in. And there's a USB lead there as well. Don't really know what that's for. So on the front of the panel, number of USB sockets on there, and a PD45 socket as well. That's what that other lead is that it comes with it. There's the 12 volt 9 amp output there. These are all the outputs on here. Now this interface here, I've seen a number of reviews on this, and this is going to be a separate unit that you can plug in there, probably a remote unit for the displays and things, but I haven't actually seen one as yet. Switch it on, you're pressing all the button down and it shows you how much power you've got in, and you can switch on DC power or you can switch on the AC power. So DC, direct power, that's like 12 volts, that's what you use in your van. The AC is the alternating current. Now I saw a video recently, I think he was doing a live, Mel's World, and he was saying the cost of these might seem expensive. They're about £1,000 these, but if you actually think what you get with this, you get a decent sized lithium battery, you get a full sound wave inverter. Now what that means is the AC, it takes 12 volts and it converts it into alternating current, so it gives a sound wave. Now an expensive inverter gives a proper sound wave which looks like this. A cheap one will give a digital one, and it looks like a rock face that's been digitized, and they're not as safe as a full sound wave one, but a full sound wave one is expensive. So within there you get the lithium battery, you get the charging unit which allows you to plug your charger in there to actually charge this, so there's an MPPT charger in there, there's a charger to enable you to charge it from 12 volts from your car, you get the power supply so you can plug it into the mains, and you get a full sound wave inverter inside of this. So this would be safe to use with electronics like laptops and things. As I say, it's not over heavy. It does come with a light on the back, not sure how much use that is, and it flashes maybe. This is the input, so all the cables for your power supply from your mains, your solar panels or your 12 volt to your car plug into there, nice and easy. And then here you have your 220 to 240 600 watts of power that you can plug your mains plug into there, so we can charge the batteries for our bikes from this. And you simply plug them in there and the bikes will charge up, or you take your batteries out and you'll charge your batteries from your bike separately inside. Slightly warmer inside the van in the winter, so your batteries will charge slightly easier than being in cold conditions. There's a fan on the back, so when it's charged, when this is actually charging, if it gets warm it can run its own fan inside to cool itself down. And I think in the future you are going to see more and more of these. Now, if you're not good at wiring your van up, and you don't want to run cables everywhere, or you're car camping, or you're camping in a tent next to your car, this is an excellent unit because it's so versatile. You can use it for your hairdryer, electric kettle, you can plug curling tongs in it or whatever the women use. You've got all your sockets to charge your units, like your iPhone and your iPad and other electronic devices. You've got your socket on there to take 12 volts from it directly, and of course you've got your 220 to 240 volts AC full sound wave, so you can run your laptop from it as well. Just one thing on running laptops, you can run your mains charger to your laptop, or you can use a battery charger to charge your batteries up for your camera and things from 220 to 230 volts in the back. But again, if you want to be efficient, if you get a 12 volt adapter, so for my laptop I have a 12 volt adapter that plugs into one of these that runs my laptop, and then you're not taking 12 volts through all the gubbins and everything else, which is not efficient, and then producing 30 odd or 16 volts to actually charge your battery. So these are really good pieces of kit. They're around £1,000. I haven't got all the details as yet, but I will put it in the description. And I think the solar panels are about 300 quid. So for 1,300 quid, you can get this setup. When I do get the information from Poweroak, they usually give some discount codes or some offers, so you might get it less than that. But that's roughly what the prices are from looking on Amazon. So this, as a unit, very versatile. We also use this for our cottage. We have a cottage that's middle of the North York Moors now, and it's overhead cables, and we do suffer from power cuts. So when the power goes off, we can run the TV and the lights and various things in the house off this. So anybody else around our village will be in darkness, or they'll be starting up petrol generators. We just plug into this and we get a fair few hours of light and power until the power comes on. Solar panels across the windscreen, plugged into the cable, into the extension, into the back of the charger, power supply for the bike, plugged into the bike, and there's the generator. While camping, mains power, charging your e-bikes with solar backup. What more could you ask for? The whole idea for having one of those in our van, as I say, is to give us an alternative power source and to run anything that needs mains power, but it's also really useful as a backup. So I think we're seeing a bit of the future of power supplies for vehicles and for outdoor leisure. As I say, it's absolutely perfect for us, because the one factor we had with having e-bikes is that if your e-bike batteries are flat, they're bloody hard to pedal or a heavy bike. They're absolutely brilliant when you've got the power, but if you run out of power, they're really heavy, they're not efficient at all. So what do? Do you take 3 bikes? Do you take a normal bike with you as well? Yes, possibly. But having the additional mains power source to charge your e-bikes up for us in middle of nowhere is perfect situation. Hope you enjoyed the video. There will be more Whippet videos coming along. I just wanted to do this one to give an insight into what we're doing with the van and our setup and how we're moving forward with the van getting sorted. So hopefully when lockdown sorts itself out, fingers crossed, springtime maybe, it'd be great to get out in the van again up to Scotland, and maybe next year in winter we might even get across to Europe. Thanks as always for watching. We'll see you on the next one.